John Talarico can take you to a place inside yourself that you can't go by yourself. You know, Michael Jordan's called a great basketball player. Never won a championship without Phil Jackson. When you have a coach, you learn techniques and strategies that will help you to begin to go to new heights and have major breakthroughs. John Talarico, he's a specialist in that area. He has changed my life in so many ways, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Akon. Listen, if you're going through something in life, man, and you look and you don't feel like you're actually moving with passion and whatever your endeavors are, reach out to my man John.
What we do is we don't give up. We show up and we start to understand that there is a common denominator to success.
So when you declare it, know that it's true. And then what you do, you take action. How do you take action? By doing things contrary to what you've done to this moment. Because you're going somewhere now you've never gone before. So you have to be willing to do things you've never done before.
Remind yourself each and every day, you're dying for what you don't want. Die for what you want. Go all in. We have to order our thinking first. Heaven's first law is order. You have to order your thoughts, and then you have to order your behavior.
John Talarico is without question one of the most beautiful human beings that I have met. He is the star in our company, an absolute star. He helps more people understand how to set and accomplish great goals than probably anybody I work with.
And now, Damon, what do you see as the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make in terms of chasing or securing outside investment funding?
We're going to get financial intelligence in those areas. We're going to get mentors and people who are looking for people of color to bring up the board, or if you're a CEO.
The world will be your oyster. You can pick any goal, health, wealth, relationships, career, business, finances, charity, and you'll be able to achieve them. And that's what I want for you. So
That's awesome, John. Where can they go to get insights, John, and more stuff about you? Grateful for you, John. Thank you for your time. How you doing, Brian? Good to see you again.
I've just been going over all my notes and everything because you asked me to speak on a subject that has changed my life, and which I love, and which I've taught 1 million people without exaggeration. So I thank you for having me.
Hey, y'all. How are you doing? Welcome to the Million in You lifestyle. And this is Inner Circle Connections on Wednesday. Remember, Wednesday is WINSDAY. So all we do is win, no matter what. I know y'all know that. So I just want to say today is a very special day because we're going to be doing a Q&A. And we're going to have fun today. We're going to be talking about the common denominator success, which in your TIR books, if you have them, it is in chapter 11. It's one of my favorite articles and actually one of those that I read every single day. I just want to say hello to everyone. I see someone. I'm so sorry you're not on the actual page, but it says, hello, great ones. It's Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. Hey, Allison, how are you doing? It's me, Hadija Toto. I'm holding it down today by myself because that's what we do. And with that being said, I want to talk about what makes a person successful? What makes a person successful? What is the difference between someone who is a failure and someone who is successful? Okay. Now, let me tell you something. John Assaraf asked in the Inner Size class one day, he said, are you mastering disappointment or are you mastering change? Let me say that again. Are you mastering disappointment or are you mastering change? Which way are you choosing to go? I like to look at the universal laws almost the same way that the court system is. Okay. So once you know these truths to be self-evident, once you know these truths, either you use these truths for your benefit or you use them against yourself. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is having these certain vibrations, right? Let's say you're upset about something. You already know how the universe works. You know that if you make a committed decision to be upset, guess what? You are now, through the law of assumption, assuming that something bad is going to happen, right? So now through the law of projection, now you're projecting this out into the world of, I'm going to be angry, I'm pissed off, I don't want to talk to anybody, right? And then not only that, but through the law of projection, now you're using the law of attraction against yourself, right? And now you're attracting all of these bad things. How do I know? Because today I woke up this morning in a slump. I was like, I don't want to do anything today. I'm taking today off. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do my podcast. I don't want to do anything. And I had to quickly snap out of that, because what I realized was, as I kept saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want, just doing that, it was more things that I didn't want to do. And I was so busy focusing on that which I didn't want to do that I wasn't focusing on things that I loved. I wasn't focusing on things that I wanted to do. So I ask you all the same question. Are you monitoring and fostering your changes? Are you monitoring and fostering your success? Are you monitoring and fostering that which you truly want? Have you really made a committed decision? Because I can tell you this, if you've truly made a committed decision, even when you don't feel like doing something, because you have the end goal in mind, you are going to get up and you are going to do it anyway. Let me say that again. When you have the end goal in mind, you are going to get up and you're going to do whatever you need to do anyways. Why? Because that goal, you made a decision, and you have to stay true to your own word. You have to stay true to your own word, right? Or else, sometimes you got to plead the fifth on yourself. Let me not self-incriminate myself and let me hold back, right? And so I want you all to just sit and reflect on what is it that you don't feel like doing that you end up doing anyways. That's the true difference between a failure and a successful person, according to the common denominator of success by Albert Ian Gray. Okay, so there are 4 different habits that I want to address. Okay, there's contacting habits, there's calling habits, there's persuasive habits, and there's working habits. Okay, and all of these coincide with one another. Sometimes you have to persuade. Yes, I don't know who this is, but staying true to yourself. You have to stay true to yourself. You have to believe in your own product. You are the walking product, especially for you all who are, coaches or whatever it is that you're doing. You are your walking product. Okay. That's why it's so important that what you do is you're using it, right? Don't forget you're a human being, right? We're not human beings, but we're human beings. But in that, we're always constantly fulfilling our purpose. We're always constantly fulfilling that which we want, right? In the beginning, we heard John say, we're dying every day. We're dying every single day. Some of us may have more time behind us than we have ahead of us. Let me say that again. Some of us have more time behind us than we have ahead of us. And we are not the author of time. So we don't know how long we're going to be here. Are you going to choose to die on empty? Or are you going to choose? What are you going to do? What would make you have that moment with yourself to truly focus inward, to truly focus on what that is? In this common denominator of success, it talks about forming habits. And I know we talk about habits all of the time, but it's truly forming the habit. And habits, according to Robert Greene, habits are changed through being able to create a routine. You have to be able to take out a negative habit and replace it with something. Okay. You have to be able to take a negative habit and replace it with something, because it's when you can replace it with something that things change. It's when you can replace it with something that things change. Okay. So I want to open up the floor and I want to ask if anyone has any questions so far, because we are doing this part, but we're also doing a Q&A. So if there's anything from this week that you have questions about, whether it be in your TIR book, whether it be in general, please feel free to ask it, because that's what I'm sitting here for. I showed up for you. I showed up because I know what it's like to sit there and even be tried. Know that you're being tested constantly. You're constantly being tested, and people need what you have. People need what you have. You can't hold back because you're afraid. What if Mr. Les Brown was afraid? What if Mr. John Talarico was afraid? What if they didn't trample the terror barriers? What if they didn't trample any of that? What if they just stayed complacent where they were because they were afraid of what other people would think of them? Mr. Les Brown says, what you think of me is none of my business. Okay? We have to mind our own business. What does it mean? Mind our own minds. What's going on inside of you? What's going inside of you that you know to be true? What is the truth? Are you standing in integrity with yourself? Or are you constantly lying to yourself? Are you compromising the way that you are to satisfy other people? Or are you being true to you? I ask these questions because I remember once upon a time when I would be I've always been enthusiastic, But there was one day that I realized I was being super loud, and I was being super just extra, just all the time, extra, just extra. And I had to sit back with myself and I said, what am I overcompensating for? What am I overcompensating for? Because you know what? People can feel that. People can feel the overcompensation. They know the difference between you overcompensating and you being enthusiastic, right? They know the difference between a fake smile and a real smile. You can feel it. You can feel it. And be true to yourself. Be true to you. But also do the things that you don't like to do. And don't be afraid to do that. Because I promise you this. I remember one time I had to do jump ropes. Okay. So anybody that was following me on social media, y'all know I went through it was a few months of me jump roping. And there were some days where I did 1,000 jump ropes, 800 jumps, right? And there were some days that I would sit there and think about it so much, about how much I didn't want to do it, that in the amount of time that I spent thinking about not doing it, I could have finished and got it done. I spent more time thinking about not doing it than actually getting it done. It was crazy. And when I realized that and I looked at the time, I was like, never again. Never again. Because I could have been done now, because I've done this to myself. Now I have to stall, and I have to keep going, and I have to keep pushing, and I have to stay up longer. And now everything is prolonged because I chose not to do what I wanted to do when I should have done it in the first place. And so I ask you, what is something that you're doing that you really don't want to do? And this is where the mental faculties kick in. Your mental faculties are your best friend. Your mental faculties are your best friend. Okay. We're talking about perspective. We're talking about the imagination. We're talking about memory, right? We're talking about all of the mental faculties. So which one is your strength and which one is your weakness? Which mental faculty are you strong at? Because when it comes to your success habits, when it comes to you plugging in with doing things that you really don't want to do, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the mental faculties that help you in your journey. It's going to be your strength in that mental faculty. My strong mental faculty is my imagination. My challenged mental faculty, depending on what it is sometimes my will, but that's only when it comes to exercise, y'all. That's only when it comes when it comes to doing the task and getting it done, I get it done, right? But sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like bouncing around today. I don't feel like sweating. And then I have to take a shower. And then it's just like a whole hour and a half to 2 hours of just, ugh. And then it's hot outside. You know, you can find all of the reasons why you can't do something. Let me tell you, honey. Let me tell you. And I love this. Yes. Replace the negative with the positive. Replace limiting thoughts with empowering one's work. Yes. How many negative thoughts? This is where the law of polarity comes in, right? And so you have to use your mental faculty that's strong against your mental faculty that's weak. And may the best one win, right? So if I'm going through, okay, my imagination is super strong, right? But then my will at this moment is super weak. I have to use the law of polarity, almost like a Venn diagram, right? This one's strong, this one weak. How can I make this strong one overtake this weak one quickly? Because sometimes the weak one or the challenged one, let's not say weak, but the challenged one can take over because the lack of desire sometimes wins over the desire, which means you really didn't want to do it. Right? And sometimes you really don't want to do it, but you want the results. So using the imagination, in my case, right? In my case, using the imagination is going to be what? Using the imagination is going to be a strong suit because now I have to keep the end goal in mind. I have to think, okay, what will this be like for me? What is my goal? What is the end goal that I want to achieve? And that's why it's so important that when you choose your C-type goal, okay, when you choose your C-type goal, it is so important that you actually want that. That's why Mr. Bobby P says, Bobby P, for those who don't know, is Mr. Bob Proctor. That's why Bobby P says, what is it that you really want? What is it that you truly want? Because it is your desire that pulls you up. It is your purpose that pulls you up. That's what pulls you up. It's not, oh, you just want this material thing. Yeah, that sounds good. But how are you being in service to others through your C-type goal? What is you having a big car and a mansion doing for me? Because that's what people are buying into. They're buying into the service that you're providing. So if your C-type goal is not service oriented to some extent, you might want to take a look at it again. Okay? Take a look at it again, because you being of service to others is what's going to create that return on investment, right? You have the paper currency and you have the energy currency. Paper currency is just energy in physical form, right? How much do you value yourself? Are you enough? Are you enough? And that's a serious question. Anyone who knows me knows I am big on being yourself. I am big on being yourself. No matter what room you walk into, be you. Even if it's a, I'm not saying don't adjust to different rooms, right? Because version of party you might be a little different from you being in a business meeting you, but be true to you. Know what your values are. Know what your principles are. Know who it is that you desire to be. Create that new self-image. Allow that current self-image, get rid of it, and constantly strive to your highest version of yourself. Constantly strive to the highest version of yourself, because it's only when you do that that you're able to pull up. Pull up on me. Hey, pull up on me. Pull up on me. I'm not about to pretend to be nobody I'm not. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I really can't. I've tried it a few times, like literally a few times. But I realized everybody's boring. What I wouldn't be like them for? Why am I going to sit there and be inauthentic to me? Why am I going to be my own Hollywood actor? If this is truly my show, right, and I'm writing the script and I'm writing the pen, I want to write out somebody that I would look up to. Write yourself someone that you would look up to. Would you look up to you? Would you want to work with you? Would you want to work for you? If your answer is no, become the person that you wish to see and you wish to be. You are the change. What did Michael Jackson say? I'm looking at the man in the mirror, right? I'm hoping he can change his ways. Something like that, right? And when the change starts with you, guess what? It all changes. It all changes. It has to. It's a law, right? And so understand these laws and utilize them. You're not learning them just to learn them. You're learning them to use them. Use them. And don't be afraid to use them. So I'm going to revert back just a little bit. I'm going to go back to this will and this imagination. And then I'm going to go for Q&A. And if you all have questions, please write them in because I'm only going to be here for about 15 more minutes. Unless you all have questions, and then I'll stay on longer. But the point is, you have the will, you have the imagination, right? Now, with these two things, like I said, you have to allow that strength to overcome that weakness, that challenge. I'm sorry, not weakness, but that challenge. Because when you do that, you're strengthening even the will. The will submit to your imagination and using that faculty. So use those faculties in a way that you know how to. If you're in a negative environment, take yourself out. You have to have the pen to your own story. If nobody else shows up, you make sure that you do. Don't not show up because other people didn't show up. Don't not show up because other people didn't show up. No, you're not showing up for other people. You're showing up for you. You're showing up to show that you have become the person that you intend to be. You are a man or a woman of your word. You know what it is. You already know what's up. Yes, application. Apply it. Because if you don't apply it, yes, it's all about mindset. If you don't apply it, it will apply itself to you. Like I need you to understand that. Either you will apply the law intentionally or the law will use itself on you. And that doesn't mean it'll be against you or for you, but just always know the laws are in the works. They're in the order. Whether you're conscious about it or not, whether you're competent or not competent, it is that the world doesn't stop just because you stop. Oh, come on, girl. Come on, flow through. The world don't stop because you stop. That's just not how it works. What's up, Cedric? How you doing, darling? Cedric Short said, thank you for sharing your experience of greatness. So needed. Come on, greatness. I mean, we're all great. We're all shining in the light. How could I not exude this? Do you see who you are? Do you see the kind of people that I'm surrounded by? I cannot be anything but a reflection of who they are. I can't be anybody except who I am. And being able to express myself and allow myself to express myself. You know, the other day I was triggered. Okay. And I like to say that triggers are things that we inwardly either were unaware of or we thought we took care of it, right? We thought, oh, I'm healed from this. I'm healed from this. And then something happens and in an instant you get triggered. Now, whether this causes you to cry, whether this causes you to get angry, whether this causes you to feel however you feel, okay? Just know that we all feel that same kind of energy. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is what makes one person cry, right? What makes one person cry can make another person angry, which can make another person sad. And what I realized was in my anger, right? Someone was crying and I grew angry because their trauma was triggering me because I didn't know how to separate. Okay, listen up here. I didn't know how to separate myself from their response to the trauma. And then their response to the trauma triggered me because I knew that there was no way that where I'm from and what I look like, that I could respond in that way. And it made me angry. It made me really angry. And I had to check myself because I had to understand, one, it wasn't about me. And two, what was it inside of me that I gave my power away enough for something to happen on the outside that internally shook up my self-governance and ruined my calmness of mind because they were going through a calamity of their calmness of mind. Let me tell you something, honey. Sadness, anger, even excitement, it's all energy. It's all energy. Having that calmness of mind, it doesn't necessarily mean being happy or sad. It doesn't mean being angry or calmness is still, right? It's that still water. It's that still water just gliding through. And so when you have that stillness, when you have that water, it's just there. It's just, you have some tides that go back and forth and they go really high and they go really low. But that still water though, that's that calm water, right? The excited water might be like, whoo, right? And then that angry water might be a little shaky, right? But it's all the same. It's all energy. It's all about how do we choose to alchemize, utilize, transmute that energy into the results that we choose and that we desire. How can we have that positive mental attitude, that PMA that Napoleon Hill likes to talk about? How do we have that positive mental attitude in order to win? Success starts with you. Say that with me. Success starts with you. And failure starts with you too. Success and failure are both your fault. Oh, yep, I said it. I said it. Success and failure are with you. It's about your perception. It's about your interpretation. It's about your memory of that thing, right? And so as you go through your journey and as you continue in seeking, right? Ask, A-S-K. Ask, A, S is for seek, K is for knock. Asking you shall receive. Seeking you shall find. Knocking the door shall be open. Take action to what you want. After you ask, don't just go in motion to allow it to come into motion to you too, right? It's already there. It's already waiting for you. What you want is right there. It's right there. It's right there. All it takes is that one person to see you. All it takes is that one person that's going to hear you. That's all it takes. All it takes is just one, that one moment. But are you going to show up as the person who's going to receive that? Are you ready to receive? Are you allowing yourself to receive? And if we're honest with ourselves, we can think we're ready, but are we truly ready? I'll give you one last story. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, so success starts with you. I'm going to give you one last story before I leave. And if you all have any questions, please, please, please type it in the comment box. But I'm going to leave it with one last story before I go. So I had this meeting with this person that was my C-type goal. Okay. I was like, I'm going to meet this person. I'm going to interview this person. This person and I are going to interview. Okay. I was persistent for about 7 to 8 months trying to get this person. Let me say, look, I was consistent for 7 to 8 months, reaching out to their team. I didn't care how I looked. I knew that I needed to do what I needed to do because I knew what I wanted. And sometimes that's what you have to do. When you know what you want, you got to be able to go out and fight for it, work day and night for it, right? When all you dream and scheme is about it. Like, you have to have the will to win. You have to have the will to win. There's no way that you can get what you want without so it's not going to be worth it if it's not. The purpose of a goal, the purpose of getting challenged is to grow. I want you to look at yourselves where you were 6 months ago. Would you ever think you'd be here? Or look at yourself a year ago, 2 years ago. Look at yourself pre-COVID. Would you had ever thought that something like that in the world would happen in the 21st century, in 2020, 2021? Would you ever? I mean, come on. We literally have computers and phones that aren't connected to any type of cord. It's okay. We change and we do it in quantum speed because we know that the universe loves speed. We know what it is in us that's pushing us to the next level. We know what it takes to get to the next level because every single time it feels difficult for you, every single time you feel challenged, every single time you have to decide to bet on you. Every single time you have to put yourself in the arena. You have to put yourself in the arena, no matter how scary it may be. Don't worry about how other people fought inside the ring. That's not your job. Sure, do some research about who you might be in the ring with. Do some research about how you can, you can bob and weave. But at the end of the day, you want to do you so good. You want to do you so good, honey. Because there ain't nothing like you. There ain't nobody like you in this entire world. Let me get in my little country accent real quick. There ain't nobody like you, darling. Ain't nobody like you. No, but really, there's nobody like you. And so be unique. Be yourself. Love on yourself more. That's what creates success. That's what creates success. When you love yourself and you love the environment just as much. Anyways, I don't see any questions inside of the chat. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, a few more moments. Wow, I've been on here for 34 minutes. Y'all have me chatting today. Oh, man. What's funny is I actually was doing a speech and it was 20 minutes. And I was like, I don't think I'm a motivational speaker no more. Ooh, I kept looking at that clock, child. I was looking at that clock and I was like, because I have 11 minutes left and I'm tired of talking. So I was tired of talking. But this is different. This is different. This isn't just a keynote speech. This isn't just me talking about whatever. This is coming from the heart. It's coming straight from the heart. Because I know somebody needed to hear this today. I don't know who, I don't know who this message was for, because we started off talking about the common denominator of success, and it just went somewhere else. But I would just want to let you know, whoever is out there and listening that needs this, that success starts with you, it ends with you, and it's always in you. You have success in you, you have greatness in you, you have love in you, you have caring in you. Don't allow anything that happened in your past to be your current narrative. Go edit your script. Or in fact, if you don't like the script, go throw it away. Rip that thing into shreds and put it in the shredder and say goodnight to it. Close it, lock it, burn it. Okay. Do the exercise that you did before. When you wrote down those negative thoughts, cut it up, burn it up. Do what you need to do to get rid of it. Because you don't deserve any negative talk upon yourself. You don't deserve that. What you deserve is to be empowered. What you deserve is to have more knowledge. What you deserve is the truth. What you deserve is to be filled up and to have your cup filled daily. What you deserve is to have your cup filled up so much that it's overflowing, that other people get your cup and they fill themselves up with it. What you deserve is kindness. What you deserve is courage. What you deserve is strength. You deserve the goodness in the world. And don't let anybody or anyone tell you differently. Don't let anyone or anything tell you differently. You deserve it. Okay. So I don't see any questions in the comments. I want to say thank you so much. And I am so looking forward to seeing y'all next Wednesday. And I'll see you soon. Cedric Short, thank you so much. Nobody does it better than me. Hey, I like that. KNOW, nobody. I love it. I don't know if that was an accent or not, but I love it. Allison said, the spirit leads you. Amen, my sister. Amen. Facebook user said, amen, amen. No, thank you. Thank you, queens and kings. I really appreciated being here today. And I'm so excited to be here on the Million and You lifestyle, and in the inner circle connections. It's so great and phenomenal to be able to connect with you all. And it feels so, I just feel so, like I said, this morning I woke up. I don't even want to say on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not even sure. I think my spirit hit the floor. I don't think my spirit was in the bed no more. And we didn't wake up on the left side or the right side. We woke up on the floor. So to be here right now and to feel so filled right now and to feel so, I know that I'm walking in purpose. And I'm glad to be surrounded by people who are walking in their purpose as well. So I want to congratulate you for stepping up another day, for being here another day, for choosing not to put that knife to your wrist, for choosing not to pick up those drugs, for choosing not to criticize yourself, for choosing not to engage in negative talk, for choosing you, for choosing love, for choosing courage, for choosing strength, for choosing acceptance, for choosing serenity. Thank you so much. And I will see you all next week. Bye.